right, I think you're all good, my dear. I'm gonna go shut that door though, just so it doesn't pick up any noise from the hallway.
Okay. All good?
Yep.
Okay. Hi, my name is Hazel Fredette, and there has never been a holiday event where cooking didn't bring my family together. However, day-to-day cooking in my house is very chaotic and not as a positive environment. And my whole project was figuring out the impact that cooking has on relationships, whether it be positive or negative. And that brings me to every holiday. I was always up at my papa's, and my Grammy T, she was always peeling the potatoes, always getting the mashed potato stuff ready, and then my aunts and my mom were always making the side dishes up on the stove, and then my papa was always outside cooking up burgers, steak, or hot dogs, whatever we wanted. And that brings me to the article that I researched by April Litchford called Creating a Connection Through Cooking. And it really links to my personal life because she talks about how when people cook for each other, it feels more special and it's more sentimental to them because it's cooked by one of their loved ones. And it has more positive effects than negative effects. However, while that can strengthen relationships, cooking still has its upsides and its downsides. And that is very much articulated in my home life because my dad and my brother are extremely picky, and it's very chaotic at my house because there's at least 2 to 3 meals being cooked every single night because of my brother and my dad. And my dad is still always criticizing my mom's meals no matter what. But I've always told my mom, like, make me whatever, like, I'm fine with whatever. I don't want it to be any more of a stressor for you. But going along with how my dad criticizes my mom's meals, there was a very similar article written by Liz Lenz about how her husband was always criticizing her very, like, elegant and exquisite fancy meals and would never give her like 4 out of 5 stars because he thought she would stop cooking and stop putting in effort. However, his criticizing led to her just putting in no effort whatsoever, and she stopped putting in any effort. And that's kind of how my mom has been. She's not putting really much effort into meals anymore, and throughout the project I really just wanted to help her with cooking and make it feel like less of a chore to her. But so like when articles talk about only positive effects with cooking, I know that it's not true because in my real life or in my personal life, I've seen that cooking has its negative effects. And that relates to the article I read by Jill Campbell called The Couple That Doesn't Cook Together. And for her, separate meal times work and like separate meals work and cooking different meals work because she talks about how she went through a really bad eating disorder and her husband helped her through that, and once they moved in together, there was never any arguing about cooking because they would make their own meals and they would buy their own groceries, and it never felt like a chore to either of them. But she also recognizes that it's not going to work for everyone. But she wants people to know that it can work for people, and both significant others can cook for themselves and it can work. But at my house, different meals is obviously not an option because all the cooking falls on top of my mom, and it's not the most practical to have different meals every single night, even though that's how it is. And when I was cooking with her and we were cooking different meals all at once, I did get very irritated and I got very frustrated, but she reminded me that I needed to take a step back and just watch her for a minute and watch how she multitasks and watch like the little things she does that keep her on track with not getting overwhelmed by everything that's happening. and it really showed me how to take space, and it really did show me it showed me that cooking does have its positive side effects, but it will always have negative side effects, no matter if you want it to or not.
What's the favorite thing you cooked with your mom?
I really like cooking our stuffed peppers. That was really fun. She showed me like her new way of how to cut the pepper, of just like unrolling it all the way. I don't really know how to like describe it, but
Cool.
yeah.
Did any of the research or any of the literature that you read, did it have like a sweet spot for like this is the ideal amount of time to spend cooking, where like you get that time together but you're not so much that you're bothering each other? Like, is there a good...
I don't think I came across anything like that. I think it's more so of like making sure that you take a step back if you need to before you react to the situation necessarily, and step out like if you need to, I guess.
Cool. Okay. Thank you, Hazel.
Good job.
Doing so well.
How do you feel?